So he didn't pay in all of 2022. I don't know if there's a story there. I don't know if there's, well, he made 2 payments in 2022, totaling a little over $100. But in 2021, it looks like there were consistent payments. So that's the real gap. Prior
Okay.
to that, we had wages, we had consistent. So 2022 is the real problem.
Okay. And then 23 looks like he's made effort, but just isn't completely consistent. But looking at the past, we're just waiting for him to come in. Hold on one second.
It looks like he's having video issues.
All right, Ms. Hambrick, since you're at work, I mean, he was on. I have to wait, but I know that you're at work. So he paid.
It's hard.
He had an income deduction order coming out in July. So the money was coming out in July. It may not have been the full amount, but they were taking out about $200 a month was coming out for the month of July. And then he paid $292 for the month of August. So he's kind of okay. I can't issue a warrant. You've been patient with me with this case, but issuing a criminal warrant means that there's a crime being committed, and we're not there yet. So I know it gets frustrating, but the only thing I could do with this case is just when we get in touch with him, since you have to go to work, it has to be a full month with no payment at all. And he's really not doing that anymore. He's making payments. He had a job, which was good. And I don't know if he still has that job. I have to find out if he has another job so we can get an income deduction order, because Ms. Camarillo was saying in 2001, when he was working, it had an income deduction order that was effective. So I can release you, or I can bring you back later. What would you like to do, since we're having technical difficulties with him? I'm going to speak to him, but I'm likely to just reset the case to see once I talk to him and see what's going on. And then at some point I do have to close the case out, because it's almost been 12 months, but we've been getting spotty payments, so I can't issue a warrant. So is there anything that you'd like to share?
No, I've just been going with the flow.
Okay, I know it's hard. Well, listen, I will have my clerk follow up with you. She'll just give you a call. But right now, if she doesn't call you, honestly, what I'm going to do is try to figure out what's going on with him and tell him that, I'm just going to watch the case a couple more months. And if he doesn't get a job and the money comes out, you're going to have to file a contempt against him for that past due $21,000, because he's making enough of the payments that I cannot issue a warrant. Well, here he is. So just give me a moment. Can you hear me, Mr. Roseberry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear? Well, go ahead, Ms. Hambrick. You can raise your right hand. Do you swear any testimony you're about to give the court shall be the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
I do.
Okay, so Mr. Hambrick, last time, I've been working this case since October, trying to get you on track so I don't have to issue a warrant for your arrest. But it looks like you were working. We had an income deduction order, and then you stopped working, and then you made a payment in August, and there's no consistency. It's at a point where either I have to issue a warrant, but you're making payments, on a fairly decent basis. You're making lump sum here and there. You're just not consistent enough. So what's going on this time?
I've been trying to find a job. I'm putting in several applications at the warehouse. I'm just waiting to hear back from.
Wait. For over a year, you've been trying to find a job. What county do you live in?
Fulton.
Okay, you have a vehicle, right? I'll give you a number to an agency that desperately needs people. My understanding that this agency reached out and said, if you have any dads. So I call BS. If you don't reach out to this agency, I know she's hiring people. She needs people that are going to work, because she reached out to me as an employment agency saying, if you ever have dads, I've got jobs. I just need people to work. The problem is people don't want to work. And so if you don't work. Okay, well, I hope you want to work. So I can check in. I can have my clerk check in and see if you contacted her for employment. So I'm going to give you the information. Do you have the ability to write it?
See.
If you don't have anything to write with?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to write with.
Okay. Hold on one second. You work in the warehouse?
No, I was looking for a warehouse job. I was doing Uber on the side, but I said it wasn't consistent enough.
Yeah, you need a job, like a real job. All right. And she always is trying to hire people. So she says she has some temporary to permanent jobs, $19.50 an hour plus overtime.
Email it. Yes, ma'am, I'll email it to him, but I need his email address. We don't have that.
Oh,
It's
we
my,
don't.
Okay,
Miss-
thank
Miss
you.
Hambrick, do you guys communicate at all or no? Like via text?
Yeah, we talk all the time.
Okay, could you go ahead and text him that number for me, please?
Okay.
Just to make sure he has it, 470. I don't want to hear any excuses, Mr. Roseberry. You made your payment for October, so you're good. I mean, you made your payment for August. I'm sorry. You still have to pay September.
Yeah.
And then you have
I'll
to
make
pay
a-
October.
I'll make a payment today.
Okay. I would really love to close this case to see the consistency in your payment so I could be done with it. So I know this agency is hiring. I'm going to follow up and see if you contacted them, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
470 on child support up to date. So let me see what my November calendar, I might have to put in December because I have so many cases. And then you know what I'm looking for. Did you make a payment every month?
Okay.
All right. So every
Yes,
month
ma'am.
you make the payments. Christmas is coming. I'm sorry, Mom, no offense. I'm not worried about buying gifts for kids. I'm worried about Mom getting her child support. And then if you could afford to buy gifts for your kids, you do that afterwards, but you pay your child support first. We're almost finished because I really need to close out this case. So either if the payments are not consistent, I either close the case if they are consistent, or the state could issue a contempt against you, and or my other option is to issue a warrant. I don't want to issue a warrant. Looks like you're making some good efforts. So just continue to pay the $292. And remember, make it in 2 payments if you have to, 150 one week and 150 at the end of the month. It doesn't matter as long as the payments get in, but it's already September 22nd. So if you can make a payment between today or soon, then you'll be good for this month, but you can't miss any payments at all. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we'll see you guys. Let me get my court date here. I'm not going to have a calendar there either. December 8th. December 8th will be the next calendar that we have. Okay. We'll see you guys December 8th. And Mr. Roseberry, if you're finally on track and paying it like you're supposed to, because I don't want to just dismiss the case and then you just go back off and start making mistakes. I need to stop so we could take the money out of your paycheck. I've been very patient with you. Mom's been following and allowing me to do it. But at some point I'm like, okay, you're not stepping up enough. Sorry, a warrant's going to issue and you'll be on probation until your child turns 18. So I've given you more leeway and there's no reason why you can't try to honor your payment to support your child. Okay. Or children. All right. You guys are dismissed. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too. Thank
All right.
you.
So our payments show while we're waiting for him. But Ms. Turner, last time you were frustrated with the court, and then did you just leave court or were you dropped off?
I don't know what was going on with my phone. Like it was
Okay.
the screen was messed up. Like
Okay, I thought you just excused yourself from court, which wasn't a good idea, but it looks like you didn't do that. That's why I wanted to make sure, because I know you're getting frustrated and I understand that, but you have to understand as a judge, I have a bunch of factors that I have to take into consideration. So he hasn't made any payments in the last 2 months. So I may have to turn him over to state court. It looked like he did make some payments. April, made a payment in May. He made a payment in July. Did he make any recent payments?
Not through DCSS.
Okay, so we haven't received August or September. Is that right, Ms. Turner?
yes, I haven't received nothing.
Okay, now you guys lived together before you filed reopened the case, because the case was originally closed and then you reopened it. So you know what type of.
The last time we lived together, that was in 2021. We have not been living together since then.
Okay, that's not my question. I was going to ask you, when you guys did, what type of career field was he in, and did he work consistently?
No,
he never had.
If I tell you what he did, I mean, I probably can't tell you what he do. So
okay, well, that already explains it. All right, Mr. Alexander, I'm going to need you to pull over, sir. We can't have a hearing while you're driving. Mr. Alexander, can you hear me? He knows I can't have a hearing while he's driving.
Hello?
Okay, good. Mr. Alexander, can you hear me? This is Judge Jason. I'll need you to pull over if you can. I cannot have a hearing while you're driving.
Okay, I'm trying to now, man. Dang, man.
Okay, all right. So, I've been working on this case for quite a while. I think we started the case actually last year, so it's been a year. I usually only give 6 months. I really worked for. I know that you had an accident at the beginning of the year, but then you started making payments. Looks like you made payments April, May, nothing in June, and then you paid in July. There were automatic payments made by you, so you were making efforts so that I didn't have to issue a warrant. And it's been back and forth, on and off. You pay, you don't pay, and this is the final review to determine whether or not a warrant should be issued. And so we aren't showing. I don't know why I can't see you. Your phone looks like it's very blurry.
My screen cracked in the front. That's my screen cracked.
Okay, so you haven't been able to make a payment in August or September. So I take it you're not employed again?
No, man, I'm not even working. I had just lost my job like a month ago, man. I'm actually on the way to another interview as we speak right now, trying to get back on. And then I messed around. What made me lose my job, I had a warrant. I had an old warrant on me in Edenton, Georgia. So I was riding in the car. I wasn't driving that day, but when the officer pulled us over, he ran all of our names, and my name came back with a warrant on it in Edenton. So they locked me up. So I had to pay $1,000 cash bond to get out. And that's why I wasn't able to make no payment this month. I just been going through these few little months, since the last time we talked. And I'm like I said, I'm actually on the way to the interview now, trying to get this new maintenance job. And I'm just going through it right now, trying to work, because my license finished, so they just got me going through all kinds of stuff. I had $1,000 bond, then I had to pay. I had some old, driver with no suspended license stuff, so I had to pay that stuff off.
Okay, so when did that happen? When were you stopped?
I got stopped when I had just got out with it was like the end of toward the last month. I have to look at the document.
Okay, so you were arrested. You were arrested in August. Hold on. You were arrested in August. Had to stay in custody. All right. Mr. Alexander, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you had an incident where you were arrested in August, and what county was that?
Edenton, Georgia.
Edenton. Okay. And when were you released from custody in Edenton?
I stayed for like a day and a half, because I had to get the money together and stuff. About a good day and a half.
Okay, well, if you get the money together, why didn't you just do something to try to pay something in the past month or so?
Like I said, after I paid that, I've been kind of broke. I've been messed up. After I paid my little personal bills, like money been kind of, it just been one of them phases this month. I'm trying to I'm working on it. I'm getting it together now. It just I just fell short this month. I fell short these last couple months.
Well, did you try to reach out to Miss Turner and let her know that you were arrested, but you were going to do what you can to try to get back on track, and you have a job interview, or you guys just don't communicate at all?
We don't communicate at all.
Can I say something?
In just a moment, please. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So anyway, all right. Go ahead, Miss Turner.
No, I was just saying, like, he could have reached out. Instagram, he could have reached out, because he be on Instagram like he's having a ball, but he's telling you he having it hard. I'm having it hard too. I pay rent, car insurance. I have a lot of bills, but I go to work every day. So I don't see the excuse. Like, it's just excuse. What's
Okay.
wrong with getting a job? There's nothing wrong with getting a job. I work a 9 to 5 every day.
Okay, Miss Turner. I get you. That's what we're here for. All right, Mr. Alexander, I think I've worked with you over the past 12 months. I know you're having hard times, but I'm not going to be able to continue to allow you to just go on and off on the child support. Miss Turner's frustrated. Of course, I'm not going to issue warrants just because a mother wants me to issue warrants. That's not my responsibility, but you have gone 2 months with no payment. And you know that you can't do that. And then you miss June, you pay July, and then there's no payment in August, no payment in September. I believe I already had Mom, but the only way I will not issue this warrant today is if you cover your child support payment for 2 months. And I don't know if you're going to be able to do it, but she said you got a side hustle that I don't need to know. But if you could pay $600 by the end of the month because you're going to a job interview, I will give you another opportunity. But if you can't pay that, I'm going to have her sign the warrant and we'll just turn your case over to child support to state court. Now, once it goes to state court, then they handle your case. And if they see that you're making payments, they're going to dismiss it right away. But other than that, and I'll have to let you turn yourself in with the signature bond. That's the only choice I have at this point. And Ms. Turner, you cannot come back to our court once I turn it over to state court. But it looks like he was trying to get on track. I saw some building up of doing better. And then finally, he was making payments. And then things happen. He got arrested for some old warrants. So that's it's still neglectful, but I could understand it. But it doesn't justify you not paying anything toward child support. So you're going to an interview. The only way that I will not issue the warrant is so Mom can sign it, but I will not issue it if you pay $600 before the end of September. I don't know how you're going to do that, but that's the only way. If not, I'm going to issue the warrant, give you a signature bond, you turn yourself in, and this court's out of it. You'll be in state court, and state court will have to make a decision on how to handle your case going forward. The abandonment can't be filed in the future. Understand, Mr. Alexander?
Yes, ma'am.
You got to figure it out. You figured out the bond money. You got to figure this.
I'm gonna send it. And that was actually my plan to send 2 payments in before this month. That actually was my plan to do that.
Well, today's the 22nd, so the month's almost over. So if you make a payment, you're going to have to contact our court and let them know the payment's been made. And then I'll follow up with you guys and let you know what I'm going to do next. So I'm looking for, even though the payment is $360, so I'll take, just to make sure that you're making the full payment this month, $600 will have to be paid, and that has to be paid by the end of this month, which is the 30th. And so you need to provide the proof of payment to the court. I'll check with the state as well. And then I'll let you guys know what I'm going to do from there. If no payment has been made, then I'm going to go ahead and issue the warrant. You'll have to turn yourself into DeKalb County Jail. I'll let you know all those details. I'll have my clerk call you, but pretty much you turn yourself in and then you'll get a signature bond, but you still should pay child support, because if the child support payment is properly made, by the time it goes to state court, they're not going to take your case. And the best way to do that is to have an income deduction order coming out. So if you make the payment, I'm going to reset the case and to see if you've been making the payments and if you're consistent. And if so, as long as an income deduction order is coming out, then I won't issue the warrant. Do you understand? Are we clear, Mr. Alexander?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, it's your burden. Do you know how to contact our court?
Yes, ma'am.
Oops, I accidentally muted him. Unmute yourself. I'm sorry, I accidentally muted him. Having too much feedback. Okay, how are you going to get notice to our court that you made that $600 payment?
Won't it pop up in the system when I pay it?
Yeah, this is a criminal court. I don't have access to that information. So you'll have to call our court and tell them that you made the payment, and then I can double check then. I'll go ahead and check on October. Yeah, you got to let us know that you made the payment. So you have the email to our court where you received the Zoom. You can just reply to that email and tell them to notify Judge Jason that you've made the payment.
Judge Stacy. You said Judge Jason?
Yes. You've been seeing me for
so-
almost a year. Yes, me.
So,
My name's right there.
Yeah. So that same email that I be getting the link from the Zoom, just reply there and let y'all let them know I had paid.
That's right. It's got to be paid by September 30th.
Okay.
And I'll let you guys know what's going to happen from there. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So how would I know it'll be like stuff will come in the mail or something?
We'll call you and tell you to come sign the warrant if he hasn't paid.
Okay, do you guys have my number on file?
We do.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So good
Thank
morning
you.
to both of
You're
you.
welcome, Barbara.
In this case, position 2, Ms. Hendricks, you have a child support order of $264 per month as the base pay, plus a repayment toward the arrearage of $3,700. The repayment is $5,280 per month. In this case, a payment was made of $345 by dad in June. Then no payment was made in July, or it could have been paid sometime at the end of August. And dad, you paid another payment. Let me look at my notes here. And then you paid a payment in September, but you didn't make a payment in July or August. So let's see here. Dad is getting a new job. So I reset it. That was back in January. Let's see. I told you to try to pay $160 every 2 weeks. Let's see. You were reset to July for status of the income deduction order. And let's see. You were not at the last court proceeding. Oh, looks like you were incarcerated in Illinois. Okay, well, that may be able to provide some explanation of what's been going on. Okay, both of you, Ms. Hendricks, Mr. Bailey, raise your right hands for me, please. Do both of you swear any testimony you're about to present to the court will be the truth? Just nod your head and say, I do. Okay, Mr. Bailey, tell me what's going on, please. You made a payment in September, and then it looks like there was no payment in June or July.
Yes, I was trying to make a payment. I had kept screenshotting and sending it to Jamaria and showing her that it wasn't allowing me. And every time I called the office, it didn't work. So, and then in July, towards the end of July, I was incarcerated.
Ms. Hendricks, hold on. Ms. Hendricks, are you able to sit down and be still for me, please? Because your camera's sideways and we're in court. So if you were in person, you'd have to be sitting in front of me at a desk. Thank you. All right, Mr. Bailey, go ahead.
Yes, I was trying to pay it, but I kept getting this error message for a minute. So I had, I was incarcerated on I forgot the date of July. I think it was like the 28th or the 29th. And I had to pay to get out. So that was a hassle. So, and then,
In Illinois?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you a fugitive of justice? Did they arrest you here and they picked you up?
No, man, I was in Illinois. Like it was I was just going to go gamble, but I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not to say it like that, like just I was around with some friends. They was going to the casino or whatever the case was. And it was just a lot that happened.
Okay. All right. So you were arrested and you had to pay to get out on bond. Same as
Yes,
the
ma'am.
last. Okay. And then are you currently working because you did make a payment recently?
I was supposed to get the job on like August the 5th, but I still was incarcerated at the time of my interview because I actually had an interview at Toyota Union City.
Oh, wow. So what's going on now?
Now I'm just getting everything back situated. I just got a new phone. I've been putting in application to get a new job or whatever, and the little money I do, I'm making. I've been paying. I'm trying to pay more often. So
how
it's just the only reason
how do you make the little money you do make when you say that? What are you getting temporary jobs? What are you doing? And what county do you live in?
Right now I stay in Hampton, Georgia.
Oh,
And I was just, yes, ma'am, helping around, like cut grass maybe here and there. And that's about it. Mom helped me.
Your mom helps you. Okay. Well, so you saved yourself by making one payment because I will not issue a warrant if there's been a payment made within 30 days, and there has been a payment, but you missed, you missed July and August. You kind of made that payment that would have covered August, but technically you paid it in September, but I can't give you another 30 days without paying your child support. So you have over $3,787 that's past due. So I'm at the point where I either have to issue a warrant for your arrest or you completely start making consistent payments month to month to month. I understand things happen, but I have to hold you accountable. Okay. So this case has been open since January. And so I've given you, enough grace to make sure you understand you got to pay those child support payments or I have to issue a warrant. This is a criminal calendar. This is where a warrant shall be issued. So I need you to make a commitment to make the monthly payments. Right now, the basic payments are $265 a month. That's all you have to pay. That's a price of two nice dinners or a pair of tennis shoes. I'm not saying you have that stuff, but I believe that most people have the ability to figure out how to pay. So that would be like $135 every 2 weeks. So I don't have another option. Either you pay your payments consistent or get a job. That's where you were on the direction. Like you were about to get a job, which is great. And then we could have just taken out by an income deduction order and I could have dismissed the case, but we're not there. But because you did make a payment, I'm going to require you. Now are you able, so your mom's helping you. I don't want to put this on your mom, but you'll have to pay her back. Can you, even if you have to make a payment on the credit card, you could pay it on credit card, right?
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
I know that's not anybody's best choice, but I don't have a choice. Either you make the payments for October and November. And when I come back, if you haven't made those payments, then I'm going to let mom sign the warrant. But that's never my first choice. I don't want to.
By today? Pay them today?
No. No, not at all. I just want to make sure that you understand that you have to make your child supports consistent. So you made a payment on September 5th. So your next payment should be paid October 5th. And then your payment after that, November 5th. And when I see that you've made the payments consecutively, and I'm hoping by the time we come back, you will have a job, we'll have an income deduction order, and I can dismiss this case.
Yes, I gotta call them too because I was supposed to be going back and forth, and I just need my license so I can go back and forth so I could even drive to work. So
Okay,
I don't
well,
know if that's possible, but I just gotta call them.
oh, you don't have a license. So in order to get your license back, I'll let Miss Cameron. One, if you get a job and they can take the money directly out of your paycheck, they will reinstate your license, is my understanding. I'll let the attorney from DCSS explain it. Or if you make a lump sum. Now, if you go today and you get a job anywhere, McDonald's or Waffle House, and if they, Amazon, if it's there, and if they can start taking the money out of your paycheck, they'll reinstate your license. But you got to go get a job, not just a job you want, any kind of job, so they could take the money directly out of your paycheck, and that'll keep your license reinstated.
Okay.
While you're looking for the job you want, you've got to get any kind of job to get your license reinstated. Is that right, Miss Arena Camarillo?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm hearing you say, you just said, oh yeah, I went to Illinois to go gamble.
No. That's why I was just in the car with them. That's why I switched it, not to say it like that. Like I wasn't.
No, you went to go have fun and spend money, and mom's sitting there trying to raise your child, and you're having fun, but you did make a payment, so I'm not gonna beat you up too bad. But I have to either issue the warrant or close the case. So I need you to have a job and be consistent. So that means we're clear. I'm not giving you another opportunity. Okay, you've got to make. Okay. Have to make. I'm putting dad was arrested. Did make a payment. Shall make a payment. In
October, right?
October. Not until October. If you pay before, it won't go towards October. October and November. We'll review the case on December 8th. If if both payments are not made, warrant shall issue. You understand?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know why you guys have to get me to the point where I have to go ahead and issue a warrant for your arrest, because you're on child support until your child turns 18. I mean, you're on probation for child support until your child turns 18. And I don't know who would want that over their head, because once you get stopped and violated, you're in and out of jail all the time. Right. But all right, so that's it. Warrant shall issue if I don't see the full payments for, again, my goal is to get the money directly out of your paycheck, a consistent income deduction order. Now, I know that job at the plant would have done well, because that would have got the money that you needed. But keep going back that direction, and we'll see you guys on December 8th. I believe that's my you guys have, I think, a 5 or 6 year old. Dad, you're under an order to pay $442 per month in child support. You have a rearage. It looks like you were working, but they were only taking, you were working and they were taking it directly out of your paycheck, but then it just stopped. Well, but then you just made a payment. Hold on. You just made a payment of $480, which would cover this child support for September. And what happened with your job? I mean, that would have reinstated your license, and the case would have been dismissed with an income deduction order.
That's for his other child support case.
Hold on. I'm going to mute you because I need to talk to him first. All right, go ahead, Mr. Dunham.
Well, you said that they were taking it out of my other job. Apparently, when I went up there to the child support office, they said that according to their systems, my last job was taking money out, but they weren't sending it in. And they told me that I needed to get a lawyer for that because there was like thousands of dollars that was never turned into child support. But they were, they were deducting it from my paycheck when I was at Urban Pie. But that was just to address what you were saying earlier, how they were taking it out. But my other job, I made that payment yesterday from what I worked this week. And I start my new job next week. It got delayed because I actually injured my hand and I was in a splint for about a week and a half.
Okay. All right. So you made a September payment. Does that, so you have 2 child support orders? Is it split?
No, because I made a purge payment. So it will go directly to this case because I told the caseworkers that I had a court hearing today. So they filed a purge.
But in the, okay. So the income deduction order, are you already hired for your new employment?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you know that you make the payments, but what's going to happen is if you have 2 child support orders, the payments are going to split between the 2 cases.
Yes, I understand.
And then so you have to supplement it. You have to supplement the payments yourself.
I understand.
All right. So so how much is your other child support case?
It's for $220.
Okay. Yeah, there's 2 child support cases total is about 600. All right. So you made the payment. You're good for this month. That should have reinstated your license if it was suspended. This is a fairly new case, just opened in July. So I just need to monitor your case. The first goal is for you to give the information to Miss Arena Camarillo so the money can be taken directly out of your paycheck. Until it comes out of your paycheck, I need you to pay the October payment directly, the November payment directly. By then, the income deduction order, by the time we come back to court on December 8th, we're going to have a large calendar. The child support order will, should have been, the income deduction order should be in place, which will allow you to just, at that point, once there's an income deduction order, then I will dismiss the case, but I have to get that income deduction or show that you're making the consistent payment. So you have to make the full payment in October, again in November, and then I'm going to review the case December 8th. And that's pretty much it. But I need to have you go into a breakout room.
Your Honor, if I could ask, is this the same employer he was with July 14th? He gave the attorney here that day that information with Courier?
Mr. Dunham?
Yes.
Did you hear the question?
I didn't hear the last part of what she said, no.
Is it the same employer that you gave to the attorney July 14th when you were in court here?
Yeah, but it's a different position.
Okay, but if it's the same employer, then we'll send the FIW still goes to the same address?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so you shall pay the support, shall pay support for October and November. DCSS, hold on 1 second. All right, Ms. White, Officer White, anything from you? I'll have to, okay, I'm going to mute you, Mr. Dunham. We'll see you guys on December 8th, but you're not excused quite yet. All right, Ms. White, we'll see you guys on December 8th. Anything further from you?
No, I haven't received a payment yet, but that's about it.
Well, yeah, he just made the payment, so it's going to take a couple.
Okay.
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 All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you guys December 8th. All right.
Thank
So
you.
in this case, Mr. Banro, you're under an order to pay $214 per month in child support. Looking at your payment, you were working and we had money coming out of your paycheck in June and July, but that was last year. So there weren't any payments made this month. You indicated that you had a disability. I required you to send in disability paperwork to prove that you were pending disability. I mean, you did send in a doctor's note saying that you're disabled. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but it still seems like with that injury that there can still be some type of employment, but that's not for me to decide in the criminal court. And then you also sent in the records from your employer. I think from your attorney and from the doctor saying that you are pending disability and you're unable to work. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. Last time we were in court, you said that your family would probably try to help you out your child support is only $214 a month. So you just, so you're telling me like you can't work at all, you can't use the phone, you can't, I mean, you're not disabled yet. I know that, well, you're pending disability, but there's nothing that you can do. How do you support yourself?
Well, my parents still been helping me out also.
What do you mean? Like you're living with your parents?
Yes.
Okay. And so based on the disability, you cannot work at all?
At the moment, I can't. I tried to find a job that paying under 30 hours. Ain't no one having nothing right now. I've been filling out applications for something under 30 hours. Yes, I have.
Okay, where do you live?
Barnesville.
Okay. Do you have transportation?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So how can you work if you don't have transportation?
Well, I lost everything once I stopped working.
Okay. Let me double check this. Let's see. 5-year-old. So I think Miss Arena Camarillo, this is going to have to be a civil contempt case. Ms. Davis, he's provided the proof that he, from a doctor, I cannot override a doctor or a lawyer. I know this is not helping you at all, but if he gets disability, your child will get disability as well, and it is pending, but I cannot order someone to go and get a job and issue a warrant against them if they have proof that they're currently in the disability window now. So I'm going to request that the case that you have the support child support office go ahead and file a contempt with the court. I think it's in Lamar County though, and let them decide whether or not he has the ability to work, because I can't issue a criminal warrant when someone is declared by an attorney and a doctor to be temporarily disabled. So I'm going to mute you, sir, and I'll hear from mom. Go ahead, ma'am. It looks like he's trying to find a job. If he finds something, then you get the support, but it's not a criminal matter that I could issue a criminal warrant for. Miss Davis, anything from you? As a follow-up to see what's going on, since Dad, you're under an order to pay $600 per month and there's 3 children. I think this is the case where you have like 10 kids. Isn't that you?
Yes, ma'am.
So anyway, I don't know what you're doing to these moms who want them to still have all these babies for you when they know you're not paying child support. But, you know, anyway, so it looks like you were working in July or in August and you did make a payment of $201.50 in July and $201 in August. So are you working, sir? I mean, your child support's for $600, but you did make, I mean, with 10 kids, I don't know how many child support orders you have, but I mean, we discussed that last time, Ms. Wallace. I don't know how, I mean, it's not a crime when you have 10 kids and you work a regular job. I don't know how he can pay. I don't know how he can support 10 children unless he makes a lot of money, but I don't know what kind of career field you're in, Mr. Thompson. But so what's going on because you didn't make a payment for September?
Yeah, I will be making one on Sunday, the latest, but I try to make as much as I can for the past 2 payments. So Sunday, I'm making $250.
You're getting paid $250?
Paying $2 Sunday.
Okay. So are you working yet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So do you make enough? So some of the children, if I recall, live with you and you're new.
Yes.
And how old are those children again? Did I put all that in here? Hold on one second. All right. So how many child support orders do you have open, Mr. Thompson?
I have one with the Shadira.
Excuse me?
I have one, Your Honor.
Oh, one that's an open case. And then, so how many, just so I can make notes, so I can remember, I didn't put this in there. Tell me, you have 10 children altogether?
Ma'am.
Okay. And then how many mothers do you have, so I can know that you're probably providing support? How many mothers involved, so I can say you have 10 children, and other than Miss Wallace, you know what I'm trying to figure out? I need to type this in the system. Father is 10 children. With the first mom, how many children do you have?
1.
Okay. Second mom?
3.
Is that this one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then what after that?
No, I'm sorry. The second mom is 2. Second mom is 2, and then Shadira is 3.
Okay. Okay, and then what's the status with the current mom?
Okay, with the current mom, I have 1 and 2, and 2 of my kids is living with me. 1 is 2 years old, and the other one just turned 18.
And where do you live?
I live in Georgia, Your Honor.
Well, what part of, I know Georgia. What part of Georgia?
Forest Park.
I'm sorry?
Forest Park.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So, Miss Wallace, as I told you before, I think this needs to go back to a judge to determine whether or not there should be a contempt filed. The order says $600, and that's reasonable for 3 kids. But when he has 10 kids, I'm not sure how I could put him, incarcerate him for finding that it's a criminal warrant. But you're making the payments; they have to be consistent, sir. Is there any way you could bump those payments? Do you think you could bump them up to $300 a month?
Well, as we spoke about with it the last time, I told you I was going to make as much as I can, and coming October, I will be able to bump the payments up, as I explained to you in the last airing.
Okay, so let me just put here. How do you get paid?
I get paid by a check, Your Honor.
I mean, I guess I should, let me rephrase the question. Do you get paid weekly,
Bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly.
Yeah, twice a month, actually, yeah.
Okay, so why don't you just divide the payment in 2, pay $150 per pay period?
How do we get to 150 from $600?
Because, hold on, ma'am, please, you're muted. Don't interrupt the court, please. I'll explain everything to you in a moment. Mr. Thompson?
Yes, Your Honor. Within the two payment, I could pay on each paycheck $200 on every paycheck, Your Honor, instead of the $150, because I get paid like twice, so I could pay $200 on each paycheck. Yes,
all right.
Your Honor.
And how much do you make a year?
Like, I want to say 20, I think like 21, 22, give and take.
So why can't we take out an income deduction order?
Why can't we take out?
Yes, why can't child support just take the money directly out of your paycheck from your employer?
I don't know why.
Well, we just need to get your employer's information and we could take it directly out of your paycheck. You'd have to pay directly until it comes out. So, all right, let me address mom. So, Miss Wallace, the problem here is he has 10 children and you knew that. And so I shared with you before, we can put the child support request paper. Hold on. We can put the child support paperwork in. And if they can take out a full 600, then they'll take it out. But I don't think he's making sufficient money from what I'm seeing or hearing to pay $600 a month plus support the other 7 kids that he has. So I don't find that to be a criminal warrant. You can go to a civil judge that issued it and they can deal with the contempt and they can decide if there's enough that he's in contempt and he's able to pay a full 600 per month. So I'm not reducing it, but I'm trying to get you consistent payments. So if he's willing to pay $200 every pay period, then that gets you 400. Yes, it's not the full amount. I'm not reducing it, but I just don't see how this could be managed with.
Can I clarify something for you, Judge Jason?
Yeah, let me swear you in. Do you swear any testimony you're about to give me will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so you stated that Mr. Thompson has 10 children. Just to clarify, his oldest child is 21 who lives in New York City. The child underneath that is 19, and then the next child is 18. Then you have my 3 children that are 10, 9, and 9. Okay. After my children, there's another child who he had during our relationship. So she's a year younger than my 9-year-old. She lived with her parents separately from him. After that child, there's another child that lives in Louisiana with her mother. So he's not supporting 10 children. Out of
Okay.
those 10, he might be supporting paying the child support for my 3 and the one that he has now with the third, because there would be technically, I want to tell you, there's 6 women spread out amongst 10 children. So when I met him, he didn't have 10 children. And the children that he's had after me are single mothers. It's like 3 mothers after me with single children. So
Okay.
he's not supporting 10 children.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for the clarification. I get what you're saying. Some are older now. All right. So, but the issue is if he still isn't making enough money, what we'll do is try to get an income deduction order.
He isn't making enough money to maybe support 10 children. However, 3 of mine, 1 that lives with him and 2 that live with their parents, and he's not supporting them. Neither is he on child support for those other children, as he made it very clear.
Hold on, Ms. Wallace.
I'm the only person he has to pay child support to.
Hold on. That's not the issue. The issue is, what is he making sufficiently for us to take the money directly out of his paycheck? So when you got the order years ago, maybe he had a great job. I don't know. But what I am doing in a criminal court is making sure there's some type of payments. I'm going to get his information so we could take the money directly out of his paycheck. Out of the paycheck, if they can pay, of course, sir, listen, I'm not reducing your payment. So if you can pay, you should be paying $300, out of every paycheck, and to be able to provide the support for her, but this has to go to, in my opinion, a contempt judge. But if we get an income deduction order and the money comes directly out of your paycheck, then whatever the federal government takes out, that still closes the criminal case. Meaning if they say, based on your income, working 40 hours a week, that you bring home enough to pay, let's say $220 per pay period, that's all that I can do, Ms. Wallace. And that because the law states if he has a federal withholding and they're taking it from his employer, there can't be a criminal warrant can't be issued for an insufficient full payment.
May I respond?
No, not to that, because that's the law. But he can find another job to pay the difference, but I can't issue a criminal warrant to find that there's a crime being committed. A crime is not being committed if he's substantially complying with the child support order.
Okay, can I respond now?
Sure. Yes, you can.
So when in the $600 support order was established in 2019, Mr. Thompson and I went to mediation, and he said that he could provide $600. No judge, no court, no one ordered him to pay $600. He said that, and he agreed to that under his own terms. Secondly, he has had at least 3 income deduction forms since 2019 till today, where his jobs do not deduct the money from his paycheck.
Can you allow me to interrupt for one moment? That is correct. I did want to let the court know that July 21st, the attorney made a note that they tried to send the FIW, and what is happening is that they've been sent and DCSS does not get any response from the employer. And it's an independently owned company, and it's a franchise. And so it was pointed out to him that he's responsible for making the monthly SOA. I just wanted the court to know, because I know the court wants me to get the employer information, but it appears that we've gotten it a couple of times and the employer is non-responsive.
Okay. All right. Well, Dad, I will tell you that your order is to pay $600 per month. Mom's saying you said that you would do it and you could do it back then. So you should be paying, not if you can pay $300 out of each paycheck to the child support. That's what you're required to do. I can only issue a warrant if you're not substantially complying, but $200 is not sufficient a month for the 3 children with Miss Wallace. So with your employer, I don't know if you can get, I know you have 2 kids you say you're raising. I'm sure there's a mother in that household, and I don't know if she's working, but I don't know what your dynamics are. But like I told you last time, not insulting you, but you knew you had this financial responsibility and you continue to have children after that. So you've got to provide the support. So in this case, you did make the payment. So you made some payments, so I can't issue a warrant. Mom believes that you have the ability to pay the $300. So again, you need to step up and pay $300 per month. Looks like your employer is not letting us take the money out. So I don't know what you're doing. Do you work for a company? Unmute, Mr. Thompson. Do you work for a company?
I work for Subway, Your Honor. And I work for Subway restaurant. So when I was speaking to the lady the last time, I gave her all my information from the job, and like I told you before, and you had said I could go ahead and pay, and ever since the last court date, I've been paying what I can pay, and like I said to you before, I will pay when I can pay more than what I can pay. Then I'll definitely pay the more of what I can, of what it is, Your Honor.
Well, do you work 40? I mean, you can't get a job other than Subway. I mean,
But right now, that's where I'm working at. That's where I'm working at right now, Your Honor. I'm not saying I can't get a next job, but right now, that's where I'm working at. You know, the pay rate is not really good with these jobs as we speak presently now. So,
all right. Well, we'll see you guys. I'm going to reset the case, try to just see where you are. I'm going to encourage you to try to make your $300 per pay period as close as you can to it. I can't reduce it, but as long as you're making consistent payments closer and substantially complying, I cannot issue a warrant. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the case one final time. And either a warrant's going to be issued if the payments aren't paid at all, because I can't issue a warrant if there's some payment. But I'm hoping that we have the income deduction order in place, because that would require me to dismiss the case, allow me to dismiss the case. So you need to go to your employer and say, can you please, because they're privately owned. That's probably the issue. So you need to go to that employer and say, can HR just take this money directly out of my paycheck? And then that's it. Your license stays in place, and I can't make you pay any more than what they're taking out of your paycheck. Hopefully you're working full time plus overtime to be able to provide for your family. And I'm going to encourage you to get some type of warehouse or some other type of job so you can make more money to be able to provide for yourself and your family. All right. So with that being said, let me look at this case again. All right. So 200, of course, is what I would be looking for twice a week. So what I'm trying to share with Ms. Wallace is I'm not reducing the order, but 201.50 is good effort, Mr. Thompson, but it's not sufficient. I would need that amount to be doubled to $400 minimally, so that I don't have to issue find that you're committing a criminal offense. That's what I can say. All right. With that being said, go ahead, Mr. Thompson, and then.
When you said $400 per pay period, or
no, you're supposed to be paying voluntarily $300 per pay period until an income deduction comes out. And if you cannot pay it, I'm saying I'm looking at you paying as close to the $300 per pay period. That's all I'm requesting that you do. I'm not reducing the child support order. And Ms. Wallace, if you feel he has the ability to pay more than that, then you can file a contempt. You have a $25,000 arrearage, and I'd encourage you to do that. And once the Superior Court gets involved with you filing a contempt against him, they'll make the decision of if he has the ability to pay more and he's refusing to. But for right now, I cannot issue a criminal warrant. So the case is going to be reset to December 8th, and we'll see you guys in to see what the status is and if the payments are consistent.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You stated that he has been making a payment, but as you can see, there was a payment made in July for $200 and one in August for $201. The last time we were in court, at the last court date, you said he had to make a payment of $250 every 2 weeks. So how is it that he can make a payment of one time $200 per month in the last 2 months, and it still qualify as him making a payment when what you said last time?
Because he's not okay. Let me explain to you. Because he's not committing a crime. I'm listening to the overall circumstance, and I don't find that he's committing a crime. Yes, he has to step up and pay more. You opened this case, and we had our hearing. It started in May. So I'm working with this case, trying to get your child support. I'm not issuing a warrant right now. I don't find that he's committing a crime. And so for that reason, I'm going to encourage you, sir, to pay the payments more, and they need to be doubled. They need to be paid 2 payments per pay period. All right. So I'll see you guys on December 8th, and you guys have a good evening, and we'll see you then. Okay. Yes, you guys are Banro. Hold on, Miss David. All right. Can you hear us?
I did everything you asked for, us getting her school clothes, helping her out with the school clothes, school supplies, and all the things of the nature that she needed to start back school. All that was taken care of.
Okay.
I think
Oh, I'm sorry. You can you can unmute yourself, please.
I think that what she was trying to say.
Okay. Ms. Davis, I just can't hear you. I'm sorry. I'm going to ask Ms. Arena Camarillo to let the Superior Court judge, if you can request that they file an action to determine if he has any ability to pay child support since he's pending disability.
Your
I
Honor,
cannot.
Your Honor, I have two requests. It's Lamar County, so.
Hello.
And also, Your Honor, he needs to provide proof that he has Social Security to our office. Otherwise, I just do want him to know they will enforce it with a contempt. He has to provide proof of the Social Security or the medical things to DCSS. Although he's provided it to this court, he needs to provide that to DCSS immediately.
Who is that? Child support?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They
Yes, sir.
have our paperwork, ma'am.
So are you actually receiving disability right now?
No, I just got a caseworker. They
You just got the case. Okay, that's it. Okay. So so they're not going to stop enforcement until you get disability. I just do want to tell you is the day you are successful in that claim, you do need to tell DCSS because the case does shut at that point. But until then, it's enforced. Okay.
Well, I love them on notice of everything. I just got a caseworker a couple of weeks ago, and I had to do a online call with my lawyer and someone explaining some status of what I'm going through. So I'm waiting to hear back from them now.
Okay.
Yeah. So Mr. Banro, the only thing is it takes a long time to be able to get to receive the disability rating and to receive disability. Then your child will receive it depending on what type you're receiving. But the concern is you may not receive it. And so you may want to try to figure out, it's hard to get Social Security disability claim. You may want to try to figure out what kind of work you can do, if anything, because at this point you've got the obligation to support your child. And so if they deny it, we have to hold you accountable through supporting your child if they deny the claim. But your attorney seems to think it's a sufficient claim. So I don't have a basis to issue a warrant. I'm just going to have to let the trial court handle that, Ms. Davis. You're still broken up with me. I can't hear anything you're saying, but can you get somebody else's phone? Can you get somebody else's phone? Because we can't hear anything you're saying. Okay, I know you're saying something, but we still can't hear you. Ms. Davis, we cannot hear you, but you can hear me. The case has to be handled by the trial judge, the Superior Court judge that granted you your child support order. Because if he's pending disability, I can't issue a criminal warrant. That's what this is. I'm encouraging him to help you to the best of his ability, unless his parents are completely providing for him. I can't issue a criminal warrant. So. Miss Arena Camarillo, do you have any?
No, Your Honor.
I don't know ma'am, I'm not sure what you're trying to share, but that you tried to reach us on two different phones, but for some reason, there's just not a good connection. Mr. Banro, you and Miss Davis, are you all communicating? Okay, she says no, you say yes. Okay.
Well, I can show you a text where I sent a text to her to ask to speak to London. She let London call me the other day and I talked to her. So we are communicating. She just told me she moving to Barnesville, all this and that. So she said she doesn't have your phone number. So she's saying she don't have a phone number, but can I screenshot and show you where I just texted her and she responded?
Okay. Yeah. But you're on your phone, so how can you show me a screenshot?
I can send it to the lady at the Superior Court who helped me out the other day to get my email, my messages, my paper.
So here's what I'm going to do, Ms. Davis. I'm going to ask you to contact the child support agent, but it's in Lamar County, is that right? And ask them to file a contempt action against Mr. Banro so you can go to court and let a Superior Court judge decide whether or not he should be excused from payments while he's pending disability or not, and they'll make that decision. But I cannot find a criminal basis as long as the disability is pending. Okay? sorry, I can't help you in this case, but you still can, but you just have to go through the Superior Court, we're the lower court, not the criminal court. All right, so I'm just going to make those notes. Mr. Fambro, if you find a job, just start paying something weekly to help Miss Davis with your child. I mean, it's not easy to just raise a child alone. And you know that your parents are taking care of you as an adult male. Imagine, she needs the support. So I'm going to encourage you to continue to find whatever employment. There's so many places that you can work from home now, and just keep looking to see if you can find something that will allow you to provide support before you go to the Superior Court, because they're going to say, well, you could do something. They may say that. I'm not sure if they will or won't. All right. So that concludes our case. I'm not going to be able to reset this case. I'm going to allow the Superior Court to handle in Lamar County to file. And you may want to call them, sir. I don't know if you may want to call too and let them know that keep the updated status, and let them know that you live in Gwinnett County now. Okay, thank you. And sorry, Ms. Davis, that we can't help you, but that concludes the hearing on this case. I don't know what he's saying. Hold on. You can unmute.
Who stay in Gwinnett?
Oh, I thought you said you lived in Lawrenceville.
I stay in Barnesville.
Oh, Barnesville. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep. Go. Yeah. You guys mom lives here in DeKalb County, but just do the best you can of paying some child support while you're pending disability, or see if somebody can help give a monthly payment to help her provide some support to your child. The child support payment is only $200 a month, $214. That's $50 a week. So,
okay.
All right.
Right.
Hey, thank you. You guys have a good day. That concludes our case on this matter.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.